Hello and welcome to my channel. If you like DIYs, farmhouse decor, upcycling, and more, you've come to the right place. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making a fall decor project using this Autumn Gifts digital stamp set from the TheArtsyStamperShop on Etsy. And as always, I will have links below in the description box to this and the other products that I'll be using. Artsy Stamper is the sponsor this month, October of 2021, for Crafters Castle Challenge. So you should head on over there and enter your creations for a chance to win one of the digital sets the design team is using this month. For my project, I uploaded the pre-colored leaves and pumpkin to Cricut Design Space and sized everything the way I needed it, and I used the print and cut feature because there was no way I was going to be fussy cutting all of those tiny little leaves. And I printed them on craft board from Cricut, which is thicker than cardstock, but probably a little bit thinner than poster board. And now that everything is cut out, I'm going to be inking the edges of everything with vintage photo distress ink using this awesome little finger dauber that I got from In Love Arts. It comes in a set of 3, and I'm going to be using one that I've already used before instead of using a new one. The reason I ink the edges is to camouflage the white edges so that they blend in with the leaves. You can see the difference right here. I just love that these foam-tipped blenders fit perfectly on my finger and make it easy to ink the edges of even these tiny leaves. And talking about those tiny leaves, I just wanted to show you how well my Cricut Explorer cuts even the tiny stems on the leaf. Isn't that awesome? Okay, on to the next step. To create the oval wreath that I'm going to be gluing the leaves to, I am using 2 oval dies, one the nick size smaller than the other. I'm running them through my Sizzix Sidekick together with a scrap piece of that Cricut craft board. And I'm holding the dies in place with some washi tape. If you don't want to cut both at the same time, you can always cut the larger oval and then go back and cut the smaller oval out of the center of that. That craft board is really sturdy, but it cuts beautifully. I've already cut out the quote that came with that digital stamp set, and I used the same oval die that I used to cut out the center of the wreath so that it will fit together perfectly. I'm using my Beacon 3-in-1 glue to adhere the leaves to the oval to create the wreath. I just put the glue all the way around the wreath because I thought that would be easier than putting it on the back of each leaf as I go along, and it definitely makes it a lot quicker. As you can see, I'm putting the leaves on in a certain order, but I could have just put the leaves on randomly and it would have looked just as good. And here it is finished and everything fits together perfectly. And now that the wreath is complete, I took all of the pieces outside and sprayed them with 2 coats of Mod Podge Super High Shine Clear Acrylic Sealer. And I did this to protect it as well as give it a little shine. Now it's time to start working on the base for this project, and I'm going to be using Folk Art Home Decor Wax in Antique Wax to stain this piece of plywood. But if you don't have a piece of plywood, you could also paint a canvas like these from the Dollar Tree. I'm just using an old piece of t-shirt to apply the stain, but you can also use baby wipes, or if you prefer, you can use a sponge paintbrush and then just wipe off the excess with a lint-free cloth or a lint-free paper towel. So one of my viewers had a concern about this home decor wax rubbing off, but if you follow the product directions and keep the waxed surface free of moisture and heavy use for 7 days, you shouldn't have any problems, because I've used this often and I have never had it rub off. I love using this to stain wood because it's not as messy as regular wood stains and it cleans up easily and it looks beautiful, as you can see. Now I'm going to be wrapping the edges with twine, and I'm going to be using my Beacon Fabri-Tac for that because it's made for wood and trims. And even though it might be a little messy for what I'm doing, I like the fact that it is a permanent bond. However, if you want something that's a little more of an instant hold, of course you can use a hot glue gun. I wrapped the twine around the edges 3 times and then I let it sit to dry before moving on to the next step. And this is what the edges look like. For this next step, I'm using Rebecca Meyer Designs transfer foil from Thermalweb and Zig 2-way chisel tip glue pen. The glue goes on blue, but when it dries, it's clear and tacky. Transfer foil will adhere to tacky surfaces, as you will see, and if you're not familiar with all of the ways to apply transfer foil without a machine, I'll put links to a couple of my videos on the screen as this video is ending, and also below in the description box. And if I remember, I'll also put links right up here on the top of the screen. Okay, as you can see, the glue is no longer blue, so it is dry and ready for me to apply the transfer foil. I just love the way the copper foiling looks around the edges. And if you wanted straight lines, you could use double-sided tape, but I wanted more of a distressed look. I love adding foil to my projects. It just gives them that something special. And I love doing it without a machine, since I could never have put this piece of wood through a laminator. Okay, now it's time to start adhering all of the pieces on using my Beacon Fabri-Tac and 3D foam squares. And I'm going to let you listen to a little music while you watch. And there it is. And to finish it off, I'm adding a little twine bow. I am so happy with the way that this turned out, and I hope it has given you some ideas of your own. And if you're not into home decor, you could always do the same thing for the front of a card. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.